this time. Oh my goodness. Ay, Dios mío. This energy is actually kind of funny. Okay, I promise you, as I've said before, I'm not here to laugh at your tears, okay? I'm not here to enjoy or revel in your misery, okay? But I do feel a collective that, yeah, feels a little bit frustrated in love right now, okay? I do feel this energy of like, we're in between two cycles, okay? But we know a new cycle's coming, but the cycle isn't here just yet. But we kind of feel like we're at a standstill. Okay, the song is, I've been sitting, waiting, wishing. Okay, it's like we're sitting, we're waiting, we're wishing, we're wondering, we're hoping, we're praying. You know, we're doing everything that is within our power, and we still feel like we're in this state of stillness, okay? When we are in this energy, the only thing we can do is go within. Okay, it's not a very dynamic message at first, but listen, sometimes the less dynamic message is the message you need the most. Okay, so sit still and listen to it. Okay, some of you do need to do exactly that. Some of you need to sit still. Some of you need to sit down. Some of you need to rest. Some of you need to stop racing towards love or racing towards things improving or things changing in your life, because all that does is make those things run the other way, in the other direction, okay? All it does is it makes those things go, oh, they don't seem that confident in the fact that we're coming anyways. Like, we were going to meet you there. You just had to chill from it. Like, we were going to be there in a minute. You just needed to sit and just, I don't know, mind your business, do other things. But yeah, and this is this energy of, we need to not feel like we're waiting on something, okay? The message is it's already here, but right now there is this opportunity for grounding, for embodiment, okay? And just be at peace. You can want something, but you don't have to let it consume you, okay? And I think that's the fine tuning here. That's the calibration stance. That's the balance. You can want something, and yes, of course, ideally, that would be wonderful to have this specific thing, whether it's a specific person, whether it's a relationship, but don't allow it to dictate the pace of your life. Don't allow it to, again, overwhelm or consume. Don't allow it to prevent you from seeing all the other blessings that are already available to you, okay? And I truly do understand that that's the most annoying thing to hear. Like, I am not so removed from the way that spiritual wisdom and guidance is perceived, to the extent where I would not understand how frustrating it is to continuously hear, just be grateful for what you have, okay? Have an attitude of gratitude. Like, it is. It's a little annoying. It's a little obnoxious. It's a little repetitive. It's a little, redundant. It's like, yes, we get it, okay? We get it. But that being said, doesn't mean there isn't a root of truth in it. There is a root of truth in it. And you can do it your way, okay? You don't have to do it in the way that everyone else does it. When it comes to gratitude, you can practice gratitude that feels true to you, okay? And daily reminder. And those two things can coexist. Moving out of this idea of like this almost toxic positivity, where we assume that we have to be in the state of puritanically being connected to one singular truth, such as, I am grateful for everything, which means I don't need anything else because I have everything I need. Well, maybe you don't have everything that you want and everything you need, but it doesn't mean you can't be happy for what you have, right? See the distinction? I feel like that's a pretty big shift, right? For this collective. And sometimes that's what helps you move out of a state of stagnancy, is not needing to be able to practice like dogmatic beliefs or beliefs that almost feel like they're so prescriptive to the point where it's just as unhealthy as if you were shrewdly focused on something you wanted. They're two sides of the same coin, right? Two halves of the same whole. Being like, I need this more than anything. And like, I don't need anything. That's the same statement, right? That's the same statement because you do, right? You do. But we can find peace in that midpoint, right? We can find peace in that balance and that awareness and that knowing, and not seek one bumper sticker slogan to say like, this is going to be a cure for what ails. To our point here, okay, to our point, it's a daily reminder. Okay, it's a daily reminder, and it is. It's true. Okay, what do we need to do specifically? What do we need to know specifically about love from the past that we're connected to, okay? I feel like there was a relationship here that taught you how to set boundaries, okay? There was a relationship there that taught you how to create stability in your life by focusing on your own foundation. Could have been with an earth sign, could have been with a Capricorn specifically. I see the initial here, MCPO. Okay, be first or last name. This was a relationship that taught you how to create your own structural foundation, to be able to reinforce said boundaries, and to assess what was really important to you, okay, from a tangible sense and perspective, okay? And some of you now recognize that you dodged something here. You dodged a BULLET with this person, okay? You wanted this more than anything, okay? You threw yourself in front of this like a human shield. You were like, yeah, I want this. And then afterwards, you were like, wait a second. Was that good for me? Was that dangerous? Probably. Was that, did I take some shrapnel in the process? Definitely, okay? Was that a great idea? Probably not, but listen. You got through it, okay? You got through it. And now I feel like you're actually seeing it as something that you actually, yeah, you avoided it. You dodged some type of circumstance that could have been so much worse, or that could have led you on or led you on a path, you know, beyond where you wanted to go, to an extent where you would lose yourself further. You did not want to lose yourself anymore, okay? And I'm grateful for that, because listen, I hope you keep yourself, because you're pretty great, okay? I hope you keep your damn self. What do we need to know about what this person wants to say, if anything, before we move on? Because we don't want to spend too much time on something that has already closed up, okay? So this is definitely someone who is grateful for you. This is definitely someone who is still drawn towards you. But here's the rub, okay, with this individual. This is somebody who does not realize they are worthy of a love that is abundant as yours. And when you first met them, you echoed that sentiment. You did not recognize you were worthy of a love that was abundant. You were seeking from scarcity. You were waiting for table scraps. You were outside the back of the restaurant saying, is there any left for me? Please, sir, can I have some more? Okay, that was you. And when I say was, that's the operative word. Okay, that was you. That's not you now. Okay. You have now evolved beyond that scarcity mindset. You recognize you deserve more. Okay, but what happens when you fundamentally shift energetically and embody a brand new energy and vibration? What happens to an energy that was once like type? Okay, what happens to a connection that once felt safe and true to you? It no longer feels safe and true to you, and instead of energetically attracting it, you repel it. Okay, so you've been repelling it. You've been repelling it, okay? And I feel this collective has moved on from this energy, and I feel for the most part, yeah, you feel really good in doing so, okay? But it's hard for you to be as present at this time, like we said in the beginning. Some of you are trying to figure out how to be present where you are, because there's still a process here of rewiring happening in your subconscious. For many of you, it's like you're still trying to make sense of something, or your nervous system is trying to rehabilitate. And because of that, you find yourself going back and forth. Don't judge yourself. Okay, don't judge yourself. I want you to know that that's just part of the process. Okay, onwards and upwards. No one said growth was easy, and whoever told you growth was easy, they lied, okay? They lied to you, okay? To anyone who told you all you had to do was read this $20 billion manifestation guide and your entire life would change, they lied, okay? They lied to you, and it's okay to accept that and to know that and to move forward and know that you are worth putting in the work for, and you did, and you have, and you will, and you're starting to see progress. Maybe not as much progress as you would like to see, but there's definitely progress here. And progress doesn't always look like perfection. Progress sometimes looks messy. Progress sometimes looks uncomfortable. Progress sometimes means reassuring yourself at midnight to not do something that you know you shouldn't do, you know, so you can continue moving forward, whatever that looks like. Progress means giving yourself grace, even if you do the things that you don't want to do. Progress means staying present even when it feels uncomfortable to do so. Progress means being grateful sometimes and not being grateful sometimes, and that's okay. Okay? But you are moving forward. What if the journey was actually measured in the compassion you showed for yourself? Okay? What if the journey was measured in your ability to transcend something, to come into a state of union with self, even if it felt uncomfortable? Even if it felt more comfortable to be in tune with someone else's energy, because that's what you were taught to be in tune with from a very early age. You were taught to become in tune with external energies because that's what kept you safe. That's what prevented you from getting into states of danger. That's what allowed you to know whether love would continue to be present or whether you would continue to be taken care of. Of course, you became emotionally in tune to the outside world. For many years, that's what felt safe to you. Now you are learning to find safety within yourself. It's a process. Okay? It's a process. But you are on your way. We're not doing free questions right now. What do we need to know as it relates to this collective and moving forward? What do we need to know? Oh, dang. I feel many of you already feel this energy of freedom, of liberation. It's like the wind is at your sails. Do you feel that in this collective? Okay, do you feel that? I feel Aries energy here. Some of you are an Aries, Aquarius, Virgo, okay? Leo here, Pisces. But yeah, I feel this energy of we are moving forward, and maybe this progress doesn't feel as dynamic as that very intense energy that you used to possess when you lacked discernment. This is something that's not as widely spoken about, but it's a really important conversation, is that sometimes when we become to, we are embodying more healed energy, the way we move through the world does feel less dynamic. It's not as intense. We're not like taking huge risks and who cares about the consequences. It's not like all or nothing behavior. And it's like, it's slower, it's more mindful, it's more progressive. And sometimes you may even question, like, am I actually making progress? Because it feels slow. It's meant to feel slow, right? It's going to be a different speed and a different pace, and that's okay. But you are embarking upon a new chapter here, okay? Some of you have been seeing a lot of angel numbers. Some of you have actually heard your guides speaking to you, like audibly, okay? Some of you just feel this awareness that things are going to get better, even if you haven't seen proof of that just yet. So when it comes to a new path forward in love, I feel many of you are attracting in a partner that is going to invest in you, okay? I feel for this collective, this is something that's happening in the next 2 months. The latest I feel is probably April for this collective, okay? And I actually feel like this is a collective that's not necessarily in a rush to move towards someone new, okay? Even though there's a part of you that's like frustrated that you're in between these two worlds, I actually feel, again, within this collective, if you were in a relationship right now, or if you accelerated something, it wouldn't feel right to you. Like, it wouldn't feel right. So although there is a part of you that feels like the universe is playing with you, okay, that's keeping you stuck, there's also a part of you energetically that's intentionally creating this dynamic of energetic stuckness and like meaningfully trying to pause and trying not to interpret that as a failure. For some of you, you learned early on in your life that pausing is failure. Pausing means you're not proving yourself, you're not proving your worth, you're not safe. Okay, it's dangerous. You're learning to find safety in the pause. Okay, you're learning to find safety in the pause. And when we say pause, we mean like focusing on what you are doing, what you are building, creating stable foundations in your life. Okay? Okay, tell me, what do we need to know about this new partner? Dang. Good, I feel that. This is somebody that I see fully celebrates you for who you are. Okay? Some of you might meet this person through work or some type of work-related event. And I sense that this relationship even forms in a way that's different from your prior relationships. I feel this relationship is like progressive, methodical, modular. Like it builds in a way in which it's unfolding slowly. Okay? But also sustainably in the same way. And I feel for many of you, when you meet this person, you're going to have this sense that this relationship is in alignment, but you're going to have to learn to trust yourself and trust yourself as well as you get to know this individual, and they'll have to do the same, right? Because this is going to be your first big relationship after this karmic cycle closes. And many of you are aware of the fact that even dating right now is something that is challenging for you because of the fact that there's still a bit of guardedness there, okay? Can I get another musical message? Oh, cute. Oh, cute, cute. Okay, listen. Kiss me out of the bearded barley lightly, right out the green, green grass. No better spring love song than this song, right? And no better song that depicts the way love feels when you slow down and focus on simplicity and innocence and presence. That's what this feels like. Simplicity, innocence, presence, joy, newness, openness, trusting, allowing yourself to be receptive, as in the spring season. We open up to what is meant for us. We allow ourselves to be magnetic. We operate from a place of discernment, but not guardedness. Okay? This is a relationship that I feel for many of you is going to feel very peaceful, which also might be very triggering for you, transparently, because you're not used to that. So there is going to be this calibration process with this individual. I heard the initial T, so that could be this new person's initial, that could be your initial, okay? And again, I strongly feel This new individual, there could be Earth placements, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn here. I specifically see Taurus. I strongly feel Taurus and Aquarius. Okay? So, now at the green, green grass. Any advice for this new relationship for this collective? Woo! Woo, woo, woo! Okay. For those of you in this collective, okay? I want you to focus in this new relationship on what actually feels good to you. Like what actually feels true to you. And in order to do so, you're going to have to not only drop a guard, but be able to identify the difference between what you seek from an egoistic standpoint versus what actually feels like what you need. Okay. And it's not lost on me that this is a challenging process, right? To be able to determine what is actually true, what actually feels good to you. I feel for many of you for a long time, you were operating from this place of seeking connection to be able to heal some type of wound or to be a salve for a wound, or seeking connection just to be able to provide a sense of comfort or control. This is a relationship that's going to require you to relinquish that. Okay. And again, allow yourself to be receptive and learn how to be receptive in a way that feels safe. This is somebody who is going to allow you as well to be able to actually flourish in this relationship to the extent where you can have this fine-tuned understanding of what actually feels good in love. Okay, not what you thought would feel good in the past based on that symptomatic expression of that core wound. What actually feels good in love, what you actually need, okay? And speaking of what you actually need, allowing yourself to operate from a place of actually asking for what you need, not feeling any insecurities around it, and recognizing that you are truly worthy of receiving all that you desire in a relationship. Okay? So for this collective, this is a really exciting new cycle for many of you. Okay? I feel for many of you as well right now, you're still processing the final stages of grief. It's okay to not be okay, okay? Put that on a bumper sticker. Put that on a poster, okay? Keep hanging on, cat, okay? It's okay to not be okay. It's okay to sometimes have sad feelings, okay? It's okay to still feel heaviness from something that you know wasn't good for you, that you know you're over, that you know you've moved on from. Many of you moved on from this situation a long time ago, okay? Or even a couple months ago. But there's this part of you that still feels this grief. The grief is existential. We've spoken about this in the past. It's not the grieving over this specific person. It's not the grieving over this specific person. It's the grief of what you thought love was supposed to be. Okay? That's a tough one. That's a tough one. See, I came down with you there for a minute because I felt that, and I felt you connecting to that. It's the grief of what you thought love was supposed to be. And maybe love couldn't be that, okay, in the past. But it doesn't mean that this new love isn't better. It will be different. I promise you. It will be different. But it could be better. Okay? And you'll never know unless you allow yourself to open your heart in a way that feels safe. Again, with discernment. For those of you as well who were all or nothing in the past, we are moving out of that way of operating. Okay? We do not need to be the human shield. We do not need to throw ourselves into active conflict in order to be able to prove ourselves or prove our ability to love or prove that we are a good human. Okay? We are allowed to be able to move through these phases in a way that feels true to us, and we are allowed to change and evolve in our identity and not feel like we have to hold ourselves to some type of prior entrenched identity that other people benefited from strictly for the purpose of their comfort. You can continue to transform. You can continue to evolve. You can continue to shift and change in terms of how you see yourself. There's no one up there or around or beside you holding you to a specific version of self. Okay? And for some of you, that's what you're having a difficult time doing right now, is being able to evolve beyond the way that you viewed yourself in love. You said, if I gave all of myself to said thing, it must be exalted. It must grow. It must transform because I'm putting all of myself into it. And if I put all of myself into something and it doesn't grow and transform, then what is wrong with me? Fundamentally at my core, what in me was not able to allow this to grow? The truth was you were never supposed to give all of yourself to said love. You were supposed to give all of yourself to yourself. But we live and we learn. We grow and we evolve. We transform. Okay, we transform. Even amidst the discomfort and the grief, we rise. We rise above what once held us and weighed us down and burdened us. And we see beyond what we once felt was insurmountable. It's a process. Okay? It's a process. And it's beautiful how you've allowed yourself to progress. It's beautiful how you've allowed yourself to shift and to oscillate through this energy and to find self-worth even when there was no reason tangibly to find it. See, that's the process of gaining self-worth, and that's a self-worth that sticks, okay? I'm going to give you a little cheat code. This is a real good one, okay? When you find self-worth in a place in which there's proof of it, for instance, you find self-worth proof points in your career. Let's say you get some type of award, recognition, title, right? Or let's say you find self-worth in people caring about you or wanting to be with you or people finding you attractive, right? That's a proof point of self-worth. But the challenge with those proof points is that they are fleeting. They are fleeting. They are transient. They are temporary. That's not a self-worth that sticks. You must find self-worth in a place in which there are no empirical proof points, and you must find it in yourself. Once you find it in yourself, it is yours to carry forward. It is your talisman of self-protection. It is the fire that burns within you and keeps you warm. It is what allows you to forgive yourself even when you feel you've done something wrong or made a mistake. It's what allows you to move through the phases of renewal, even if it brings up this feeling of vulnerability or discomfort of your own fragility, as we all have. It is a beautiful gift that you can carry with you. A torch that will always be yours to wield. Okay? So I hope this message was helpful for my collective, sending so much love, positive energy, and abundance. If you enjoyed that collective message, 1111 down below.